Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums, EPs, or singles, and after I'm listening to them all week, I come back here and I review them and share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. Casting Crown's new album, Healer. So before I dive into my thoughts on Casting Crown's new album, Healer, let me just say this came across as a request from Jake. Thanks, Jake, for requesting this new album from Casting Crowns along with Skillet's new album that's coming up right after this. You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl, thanks for your request as well, and I'll get to those a little later on in this video. But let's talk Casting Crowns first. So, pretty good album here. Vocally, Mark Hall sings lead vocals on all the tracks, with Megan Garrett jumping in on background vocals at some point during each of the 7 songs. And as for sound here, 4 contemporary songs, 2 worship songs, and then the closer, Second Opinions, has kind of a country feel to it. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Mark Hall talks about how he's grateful that he's been set free from the grave of his past through God giving his son Jesus on the cross. And now he wants to tell everyone of the freedom and healing that he's experienced through Jesus, even when God leads him down the desert road to do this, and people thinks he's crazy and would rather follow feel-good but broken human Second Opinions. Up next, Skillet's new album, Dominion. Alright, Jake, got one more request to go. Skillet's new album, Dominion. Thanks again for requesting Casting Crowns and Skillet. You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl. I'll get to your 2 requests shortly. But now, let's dive into Skillet's new album, Dominion. So, pretty good album here. First listen, I didn't think it was as good as Skillet's past albums, even though I liked it right off the bat. But then, a couple more listens into this album, I really like this album, and let go of the whole, not sure if this is as good as, and I was like, okay, this is as good as their other albums. And now let's dive into the sound of this album. So 9 heavier songs, 3 lighter songs. And stylistically here, the heavier songs are hard rock with metal, hip-hop, and pop influence. While the 3 lighter songs take a lighter rock meets contemporary feel. And as for the vocal work here, John Cooper sings on all the songs, and Jen Ledger sings on most of them as well. John Cooper, in addition to doing sing vocals, does screams, growls, and even rapping at some points during the album. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. John Cooper talks about how he feels trapped in a dark valley, but even when he struggles to believe it, God is with him, and is the light that sets him free from the lies that hold him back. In the end, he will make it, because he's a conquering fighter who refuses to let the pain break him, but rather lets it make him stronger, and because God's love and power fights for him. Up next, Ann Wilson's new single, Sunday Sermons. Alright, thanks again, Jake, for your 2 requests to start out the show. Now you can't have it, Raul Girl. I'm gonna get to your 2 requests here. And thanks for both of them. Let's start off with Ann Wilson's new single, Sunday Sermon. So, pretty fun song here. Pretty upbeat stylistically. It's a country pop meets southern rock with hints of gospel influence kind of feel. Actually, the song has a gospel choir in it as well. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Anne talks about how she faces faith-shaking hard times, but she knows she will make it through because of the truth of what God can do and Jesus saving her that she heard through his word being preached during those Sunday sermons that the devil can't take out of her. Up next, Kevin Quinn's new EP, It's About Time. Alright, you can't have it, Rob Girl. Before I get to your other requests here, and thanks again for both of your requests, I'm gonna take a side here to review Kevin Quinn's new EP, It's About Time. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, it's pop with contemporary influence merging on a couple of the songs here. Plus, there's a Spanish version of Wildfire on here as well. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Kevin talks about how even when he loses his light, he keeps his hope in God's love that shines brightest in the dark and guides him into his God's perfect purpose every season of his life. Up next, our last release for today, Loving the Outcome's new single, I'm Not Lucky, I'm Blessed. Alright, you can't have it, Raleigh Girl. Got one more of your requests to take care of. Loving the Outcome's new single, I'm Not Lucky, I'm Blessed. The first single, well, kind of in a sense the fourth single, because 3 of the songs on You Got This are also going to be on this upcoming album, Only Ever Always, that comes out April 1st. But anyhow, let's dive into I'm Not Lucky, I'm Blessed. So, pretty good pop song here. The bass guitar gives it a groove, and then the synth definitely gives the track a little bit of a burst here. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. Jody talks about how she lives a good life, not because she's lucky, but because God, in his everlasting love and goodness, has been the source of every blessing and gift that she's received. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. And speaking of subscribers, thanks to everyone who helped me exceed 75 subscribers this past week. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I may have said about them, let me know down in the comments below. Also in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for my Music Muffin Dream playlist available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. This month's edition featuring songs from artists like David Dunn, Building 429, KB, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye.